What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the first beauty video of 2020. I'm super excited to be here filming today for you guys because I feel like I have not been here in a hot minute. Also, if you see my luminous bra peek out at any stage in this video, please ignore because it just keeps making an appearance. I don't know, I should have went with black. I hope you guys are having a fantastic start to 2020. This is the first video I've gotten to sit down and talk to you guys in because I'm just home from Rome. I spent so much time with my family over Christmas. I was delighted. It was just really exactly what I needed, just to spend some quality family time with my boyfriend, time with my cousins, my sister, my mum and dad. It was just exactly what I needed, and I hope you guys had a fabulous Christmas as well, or holiday season, whatever you guys celebrate. What are we here today to talk about? We're talking about drugstore favorites of 2019, what products I was loving, standout products for me, and I'm super excited to talk about them today because I just some of these products are creme de la creme, I got really good drugstore products I think in 2019, more so than anything else. Obviously there is a lot of high end. You will see that in my next video. And then I'm going to do my misses of 2019 and then my miscellaneous favorites. So I'm going to be talking about podcasts, movies, series, different products that I've been using on my hair, skin, nails, etc. So you can stay tuned for all those videos. So I have 4 videos from 2019 just to finish it off before we can kickstart the new year and talk about new products. So as you guys know, if you've watched my previous videos, I'll link them all in the description below. I think it goes back as far as maybe 2016, 2015. I don't know, but I will link them all below. What I do is I generally talk about products that are new to me in the particular year, so 2019. These are products that I've discovered in 2019. They might not possibly be new on the market, but they're just new to me. And I also discuss products that are standout products of the year as well. So you guys get the drift. If there are products in this that you're like, that's so old, yeah, I just discovered it in 2019. So anyway, I'm going to start with face and then we'll move on to eyes and lips. But face, I think, definitely stole the show this year. I'm looking in the basket and I was like, wow, 2019 was the year of the face for me. I think it is most years because foundation is definitely one of my favorite products. And when I find new powders and stuff, I'm very excited about them. Also, if you're wondering what's on my lips, I am wearing MAC Strip Down Lip Liner and MAC Shrimpton Lipstick because I know I will get questions about that. They're the only 2 products that I won't be talking about in my favorites. The rest I will discuss as I'm going along. So yeah, let's kickstart with primers. So this year I was loving 4 different primers. I'm going to go through these in no particular order. The first one is the Makeup Revolution Pore Blur Primer, and this is one of my favorite primers from this year. I absolutely love it. It was a standout primer for me. The reason why is I feel like it's very similar to the Professional from Benefit. I discovered this very early on in the year. I want to say maybe January, and the reason why I just love it is the texture of it. It just blends right into my skin and it fills in my pores. If I apply the Hourglass foundation stick over my skin with no primer on it, which I've done several times before, I can literally see where the pores are and where the foundation is just gliding over them and they're left kind of hollow, if that makes any sense, before I obviously blend it into my pores. But if I use something like this, it actually fills in those pores. So when I apply the foundation over top, it has nothing to kind of glide over and leave pore marks basically. So this fills in my pores and allows my foundation just to sit on top and not sink into pores throughout the day and whatnot. And I just absolutely love it for that. It's really soft and smooth on the skin. And it's just a great product and a very good price as well because for Makeup Revolution. The next primer I absolutely love is the Natural Collection Hydrating Primer. Now I discovered this, I want to say maybe around June. I mix this with my moisturizer in the morning if I'm not going to be wearing any makeup that particular day. I just want my skin to look glowy. I would mix this in with a moisturizer and apply it to my skin, and my skin just has this radiant look to it. I can't describe it. It's just so pretty. So it's not necessarily a product I will use underneath my foundation. Yeah, I can do that and I have done that. But it's definitely a product that I would mix in with a moisturizer just to give me that glowy effect. You can mix it in with your foundation or under your foundation, especially during the summer if I want that kind of glowy effect to my skin. It's a really amazing primer, very underrated and very affordable. I think I paid maybe €3 for this. It's super affordable. It's absolutely a great product. And then the next primer is obviously the 10 from Catrice. This is my second purchase of this product. I absolutely love this primer, guys. It's obviously a standout product of 2019. 2019 for me because it wouldn't have made it into the favorites. As you can see, it's like a neutral color, but then when you blend it in, it gives this like glow to the skin. It's just indescribable. I absolutely adore this. It has 10 different properties in it, and that's why it's called the Tensational. It's from Catrice as well, if I didn't mention that. And it's for priming, hydrating, anti-wrinkle, natural glow, anti-pollution, antioxidant, pore minimizing, even set skin tone, blurs imperfections, UV protection, SPF 15. So it has so many different properties in it. It's just one of the nicest primers I've used. I have a whole video dedicated, which I'll link down below if you are interested in getting a little bit more of an inside scoop on this product. I really like it. Love it on my skin. Love how hydrating it is on my skin, but still pore filling at the same time. It just leaves my skin feeling radiant and glowy and fresh, but without being too oily or visibly like greasy on my skin, because I do have quite oily skin, and it's just, I hate that look. I like that kind of like, ooh, I've just been to the beach and I'm glowing and I'm fresh. But I hate that like, oh, I've been out clubbing hard. My face is sweating. I look like a disco ball. Not into that look. This gives me like that fresh, glowy, radiant effect to my skin. I will only ever apply this underneath the foundation. I've never mixed it in with a moisturizer or anything like that, or my foundation, but I'm sure you can do that as well. But I just really like it on its own as a primer, just as it says on the tin. And I just think it does an amazing job. This next product is such a weird product, and when I first tried this, again I'll link down the video. If there's any products I'm talking about today and there's videos corresponding to them, they'll be linked down below, so I'm just not going to repeat myself over and over. This product was so weird, and when I tried it first I thought it was a foundation, and I wore it as a foundation for a particular day and it looked amazing on my skin. Sorry, I have like an itchy eye. So many people like attacked me. They're like, oh my god, you're so dumb, you're so stupid, like it's a primer. And I was like, okay, gee, it doesn't really matter, because the way I look at makeup, you can wear it anywhere on your face if it's, you know, suitable. I feel like everything is universal with makeup because it should be safe to use everywhere in your skin. So I don't think it's a problem that I use this as a foundation and it is a primer. But it is the 1 Minute Face Perfector. This is actually my second tube of this, guys. I don't talk about it that often, but I do use it a lot off camera. It looks like that on the inside, so you can see why I may have mistaken this as like a foundation because of the shade. It's quite deep. And when you apply it like there on the back of my hand, you can see that it does have a bit of a colour to it. So I don't think I was wrong in saying that this is like a foundation, but no, I was attacked over it. It is a primer. It is suitable for all skin types. I think that's why I was kind of like thinking that it was universal, as in like it was going to change colour. I don't really know what I thought about this product. I had like a huge amount of expectations for it, but I wore it as a foundation for that particular day and I absolutely loved it, and I've been wearing it ever since as a primer, and it's so good that I went through an entire tub of it. As a primer, it evens out my skin tone, and as a foundation, it just makes my skin look like I would wear it on a no makeup day, if that makes sense. I'm basically not wearing it as something that I think I'm going to get full coverage from. I know that this is a primer, but it does also give a little bit of coverage. I absolutely love it. Again, it's from Catrice, and I really think Catrice was one of those standout makeup brands for me this year. They had so many amazing products this year. Next, I'm going to move on to foundations. 3 outstanding drugstore foundations for me this year. The first one I'm going to talk about is one that I've actually used completely up, and you can even see the labels like rubbed off and everything. I love this. This is the 24-hour Fresh Wear. It's the L'Oreal Infallible range. I got the shade 140. Absolutely love this foundation so much. I've used it up. To be honest, I can't really specify if this is a 2018 or 2019 foundation, but I'm just lumping it in with my 2019 favorites. But it has been an outstanding foundation in 2019. I think I have worn this at least once a week, like once, maybe twice a week. And I have a lot of foundations. You guys would have seen, like, I did a declutter video in December, and you would have seen the amount of foundations I have. I have a sick amount of foundations, an unreasonable amount of foundations, but I managed to use up this whole one. So it just goes to show you that this has definitely been an outstanding foundation for me. It's very fresh. It's very natural looking on my skin. It keeps me like covered for, I'd say, about maybe 8 to 12 hours. So I do get a good amount of coverage from this, and it doesn't wear off, break down, doesn't leave me looking oily. You will hear that from the next few foundations I'm going to talk about. It doesn't break me out. It just looks incredible on my skin, and I cannot fault it in any way. I think it is one of the best foundations of 2019, and if you haven't picked up a bottle, this is one product I would highly recommend from this entire favorites, because I just think it is amazing and it's suitable for all skin types. So winner. The next product was a late discovery. I got this around September, October, I'm not really sure. Again, I have a full review of it. This is the Conceal and Hydrate from Revolution. I got the shade 10.2. It is the foundation I'm wearing today. Foundation, guys, oh, it's whopper. Amazing. Like, you can see it on my skin now. It just leaves my skin looking so good and so fresh and so amazing. And I thought that I wouldn't like it because of the hydrate. I was like, ooh, it's gonna like look oily on my skin and it's just not gonna look great. But it doesn't do anything like that. It looks amazing on my skin. It really hydrates my skin. My oils don't come out throughout the day or anything like that. It's just gorgeous on my skin, to be fair. I did love the Conceal and Define last year. That was a big winner for me in 2018. However, I think since discovering this, I've kind of like discarded that because I just feel like it's too heavy and mask-like on my skin. It just looks too cakey. And definitely a theme of 2019 for me was more natural looking fresh skin. I was really into that. I was more into like cream products in 2019. I was feeling a little bit more on the natural side. I know I don't look completely natural on camera, obviously, because I'm filming. It's a different thing. But in my day-to-day life, I was definitely more skin focused and fresh and trying to like reduce the amount of products I put on my skin. And the Conceal and Define is just too heavy, whereas this is perfect. It's a very nice light consistency, very buildable, and it gives you full coverage as well. So it's medium to full, I would say, but you can apply obviously less to get more of a light coverage. But it's a great foundation. Another foundation that I love is the Glow foundation from Penneys. This is €6, guys. Realistically, you cannot buy a better foundation for €6 because I think this is one of the best foundations that I've discovered for that price. I just think it is gorgeous on my skin. It's really, really, really glowy and fresh, but it doesn't make me look oily and greasy or anything like that. I'm not going to harp on too much about it because I am aware that I have a lot of US followers and a lot of followers from different parts of the world that can't get their hands on this because it is kind of like exclusive to Penneys or Primark as it's known in different parts of the world. It is one of the best foundations. It comes in a dropper bottle. It's really lightweight but gave me a super amount of coverage at the same time. So I still had like freckles peeking through, but it was able to cover a spot, if that makes any sense. It was great. It's a great foundation and it'll definitely be a winner in 2020 for me too. I'm going to move on to concealers next, and there was only 2 outstanding concealers for me this year, which is kind of unusual. The first ones I'm going to talk about are the e.l.f. concealers. Now this was a bit of a tricky one for me to actually get my colour right. So the one that works well for me is light beige, but I still think it is a bit too pale. So you can kind of see it there. It still is quite pale. Light sand, I can't wear it all. Even like now it's winter, this is the lightest that my skin is going to be. It's way too pale for me, so you can see it there. But they are quite close in colour. However, it does oxidize ever so slightly on my skin. So light beige is definitely the one that I can get away with. Anyway, they are fantastic concealers, very high coverage, remind me an awful lot of the Tarte Shape Tape. And I just love the consistency of them and how they blend on my skin. They don't crease on me, they don't go crappy, nothing like that. They're very nice concealers. This concealer is the weirdest thing ever because I definitely mentioned this maybe, I want to say like 3 years ago in a fails video, and I harped on about this for 3 years when anybody ever recommended this concealer to me about how much I hated it, and now I'm featuring it in my 2019 drugstore favourites. So the concealer I'm talking about is the Catrice Camouflage High Coverage Concealer. One of the best concealers, one of the best discoveries again of 2019. It was a fantastic discovery late in the year, and I think my issue with it before and why I didn't like it was because I had the wrong shade. Because I needed kind of like something with like a peachy undertone to it and just a little bit deeper. Got the shade 015 Honey. Perfect for me underneath my eyes. Absolutely perfect. This counteracts dark circles. It's great at covering underneath my eye, and it does not crease on me or break down or go crappy or anything like that. It leaves my under eye area looking really fresh. I have it on today and I think it looks super. Absolutely love this. This is my second tube of it. I really, really, really enjoyed it this year. And again, it was like a late discovery around September and I've been using it non-stop. I actually probably need to like repurchase it shortly because it is running pretty low. It's a great concealer and super affordable as well. And that's what I love about all these products I'm talking about today. Not only are they like so good on my skin, they're also really affordable. So you can't miss out. But anyway, that was a surprise kind of like contender this year. I did not think that I would be loving it as much as I did, and I bring it everywhere. This isn't technically a concealer, but I suppose it kind of falls under that category. It's the Revolution Cut Crease Canvas. Brilliant product for cutting out your crease area, and adding any like glitter on top, or if you just want to like shape your eye, if you just want like a blank canvas on your eye, or even as a primer, it's a brilliant product. So it is super full coverage and quite thick as well, so it covers out any veins or anything like that, and can cover over even eyeshadow. It means that if you make any mistakes on the eye, you can start off with your blank canvas again, or you can just cover up any eyeshadow if you just wanted to cut the crease there. Brilliant product. Again, Makeup Revolution do really great products for such an affordable price, and this is no exception. You don't need to move too quickly with it. It doesn't dry super rapid, so you can like blend it out with your finger, and it doesn't crease on me at all. It's not too thick, but it's thick enough to cover eyeshadow and veins or anything like that on the eye. This next product is a baking oil, and again, it's from Makeup Revolution. So this baking oil actually terrified me initially, because I was like, oh dear Lord, putting an oil on oily skin, that's just going to be horrendous. One of my subscribers is a dermatologist, and she told me that actually putting oil on oil stops an overproduction of it, because your skin feels like it has enough oil, it doesn't need to produce any more, so therefore you're not getting too oily throughout the day. I use this mostly in the winter months. It wouldn't be a summer product for me, so I kind of started using it last January and then kind of stopped around April because it started to get really warm here in Ireland, and then I started using it again around October, because September again was really warm here in Ireland, and I just love it on my skin. It really hydrates my skin. My skin went through like an awful dehydration problem in December. I mentioned it in vlogs and everything. My skin was so dehydrated despite the fact I was drinking so much water. I just think it was like been inside, central heating, and just the cold weather outside as well. My skin was just having a bit of a conniption, but this was working really well on my skin. I really enjoy it. It is a great product for applying underneath your foundation. Your foundation just glides on over top, or again, if you just wanted to add a bit of oil back into the skin. I really enjoyed this product. I'm going to talk about a stick concealer, and this is actually a product I use as a contouring. It is in C14, and it's the Makeup Revolution Matte Base Concealer. It's great for just applying underneath the cheekbones. You need the tiniest amount of this, guys. I've had this since January, and like I'm not anywhere near like finishing it. I literally dot a few dots underneath my cheekbone, and then just around my temples and across my forehead, and then blend it in. It is great. Or sometimes I'll just take the brush and swirl it on the top and then apply it. The reason why I really like this is because it's cool. Like I said, you only need a tiny amount of this. A little bit of it goes a long way, hence why I've had it for so long. If you are struggling to get it to move on the skin, I just recommend using a beauty blender or something to blend it out, and maybe not so much a brush, but it is a great product and I love contouring with it. Another product that I really liked from Makeup Revolution this year was their Revolution Matte Base Concealer Kit. Now I use this mostly for spot concealing. I would generally pick up like mostly this shade here, and I would use it to apply to my skin in any area that I would have a spot. It's not a product that I use all over my face, and I don't use it underneath my eye because I just don't like it underneath my eye, but I use it for spot concealing or carving around my eyebrows before I discovered the high-end favourite that I really like, that you'll see in my high-end favourites, because it's like the best product I've ever discovered. Oh, I love it. But this was what I used kind of to go around my eyebrows or for spot concealing early in the year. I didn't use it so much in the latter part of the year, but it was definitely an outstanding favourite for me early on. And again, it's super affordable. I think this was like €4 or €5. It would have been one of my favourite concealer palettes from an affordable brand. I'm struggling to get a good concealer palette from an affordable brand, so if you guys have any suggestions of any good ones, do let me know. But this was kind of my winner for 2019 for that particular job, and I really enjoyed it. And powders. There wasn't that many powders this year, especially from an affordable brand, that I was loving, especially for all over the face or setting the face. I've just kind of stuck with my oldies and goodies, like my Maybelline Fit Me powder. But I do have a loose powder that I want to talk to you guys about, and that's the Makeup Revolution Lace Powder. I'm not going to talk about it too much because you guys are probably sick to death seeing this product. I think it featured maybe 6 or 7 times on my channel, maybe more, maybe like, yeah, it was definitely once a month I talked about this intensely. One of the best drugstore products of 2019 in my opinion. I use this underneath my eye. I used it today just to set my under eye area. The only problem I do find with this is traveling and bringing it with me. I stay with my boyfriend most weekends, and I obviously have to bring my makeup with me if we're going out for dinner or for, you know, going to an event or something, and I will pack all my makeup, but I find it difficult to pack this because it's just so bulky, so I do have to leave it out separate, and I just feel like for underneath my eyes, like why bother? But then I always regret it. But I'm gonna have to try and find something maybe smaller to bring it in, like maybe like a loose compact or something, because I just feel like loose powder products are just too bulky for me, especially when I travel, and even when I went away to Rome, I was like, I'd love to bring it, but it's just too much extra product. But it is a great product. I cannot fault it. I cannot stress how much I love it, and a little bit of it goes a long way. It kind of has like a pink undertone to it, so I think that's why it's so great at setting the under eye area and brightening it up. Like, it's not stark white, if that makes any sense. It's like pinky, and it just makes your under eye area look super awake and bright, and sets it and does not crease. Like, my concealer will not budge, move, or, you know, go crappy or creep into fine lines or anything with this. It's a great baking product. I'm going to talk about a couple of bronzers first. So the Revolution Vivid Bake Bronzer, I've talked about this quite a lot. Lovely bronzer. I think this is in Rock On World. It comes in loads of different shades. I'll link down below. I believe that they may have changed the actual name of this bronzer and the shade name, but it's the same thing because I saw it in Superdrug. It kind of has like almost like a terracotta hue off it, but it's so pretty. It's definitely a summer bronzer for me. It's not really something that I can get away with too much now at this time of the year. Like, you can see it is quite like dark, but I do love it in the summer months when my skin is a little bit more bronzed. It's gorgeous. Absolutely love this, and it's very, very long lasting as well, because I've had this a year nearly and I haven't even hit pan on it. It's very long lasting. This next product is from Catrice. Now, sadly, I don't know what the name is because you can see it's rubbed off, but I believe it is called the Sun Glow Bronzer from Catrice, and the shade is medium bronze. Now, this bronzer has been my favourite bronzer of the year from the drugstore. I absolutely love it. It's just the perfect shade for me. It's not too warm and it's not too cool. It's just great at giving you just a nice glow to the skin and warming up the skin, and just giving you that natural bronze look and like you're glowing from within. I loved this in the summer. I loved this in the winter. It's just been an all-round great bronzer all time of the year, and I just love it. It comes in loads of different shades, obviously, because I have medium bronze, which is 30, so I think it might come in one darker shade and then like two lighter shades. Great and super affordable at the same time. I'm definitely certain I have mentioned this product umpteen amount of times in 2019. Sadly, I think it's discontinued now, so I hate that I'm mentioning this because there's two eyeshadow palettes I want to talk about as well. They're discontinued, so I'm just not going to go there because it's annoying. But if they ever bring this back out, guys, you need to pick it up. And it is the Hey Cheeks Blush Bronzer and Highlight Palette from Essence. I will try and find this maybe somewhere. They might have it on Amazon or something. I was obsessed with this in the early parts of the year and I used it quite a lot during the summer and stuff like that. I didn't feature it too much on camera after that because I knew it was almost discontinued or you couldn't get hold of it, but it's one of the best products. I don't know why Essence don't keep this out all year long. So it comes with like a shimmery bronzer, a matte bronzer, and 3 blushes, which are absolutely insane quality wise, but the highlighter is definitely one of the stars of the show for me. Blends out so good. The shadows in it are finely milled. They're not powdery and they don't go blotchy on the skin or anything like that. It's just great. I'll show you the highlighter. Like, look at that. It's just such a good highlighter. And the blushes, like I said, are just super pigmented without being too overkill. Just go light with it if you wanted more of a subtle blush. But I would say that if this comes back out, which I really do hope it does, fingers crossed, pick it up. If not, I'm sorry about that. I'll try and find it, like I said, online. I'm going to talk about another contouring product. This is from Essence, and this is the Oh My Contour. It has 3 highlighting products, as in for like underneath your eye or setting your face, and then 3 bronze and contouring products. Absolutely great. I compared this to the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette because of the consistency. The powders are very finely milled and they're quite buttery. But the only thing I will say is use a light hand with this. If you go in with a high concentration of this powder and you put it onto your cheeks, you would be left with a splotch that can be difficult to kind of blend out because it is super pigmented. So I would say just take a light hand with this, add more as you want to increase the intensity of it. For blushes, I want to talk about the Morphe palette. This is the 8W Warm Master Palette, and it is a blush palette, obviously, as you can see. I did find something at the end of November, so I'm not really sure like how I I really loved it when I found it, and I've worn it a few times since, and I really enjoy it, but I just feel like it's not enough time to tell you that I absolutely adore it, but I do really like it. It is the Lacura Liquid Illuminator. This is from Aldi, which is really strange. Aldi brought out makeup products. It was part of a special buy, so you know the way they have like products that come in and out. Well, this was one of those things. So if it does come back in 2020, definitely pick it up, because I think they come in regularly, but it is super similar to the iconic London highlighter. Like, it's just, oh my god, almost the same. Like, it's so pretty. Look at that. It's like super glowy. But again, I've only had it since November, so I've only had it 6 weeks. I mean, it's not long enough to like say whether I absolutely love it or not, but I did enjoy it any single time I used it on my skin, which was I think maybe like 4 or 5 times I used it, and I loved it every single time. I just think it's gorgeous, but again, not long enough to justify for an entire year, but I am going to throw it in anyway, just as a cheeky one. So for eyes, I'm going to start off with an eyeshadow palette. So the only affordable eyeshadow palettes that really stood out to me in 2019 were from Alter Ego, but particularly the Goddess palette. It's not your go-to everyday kind of palette unless you want to use some of the browns and the golds, then you can totally get away with it. But I was loving the greens in this. It's such a pretty eyeshadow palette. Like, the quality of the shadows is amazing. Again, I did an entire video based on this, talking about it, swatching it, saying how much I loved it. So if you want to see that in action, then I recommend it. But the shadows are just incredible from this palette. They're super pigmented. It is similar or a dupe to the Natasha Denona Gold palette. So if you liked that palette and it's just a little bit out of your price range, definitely pick this up. The brand Alter Ego is blowing up, and I feel like in 2020 it's going to be one to watch. And I feel like this palette and any of the other palettes they sent me out, like the Daydream palette, I love as well. This one, I wore it a lot more. I feel like any of the palettes that they're going to bring out are just going to be exceptionally good, because the quality of the shadows is great. And then another eyeshadow palette I really liked was the My Little Copper palette. I wore this quite a lot actually. I think the shades are gorgeous in it, and the quality of the shadows is quite exceptional for Essence. No shade to Essence, but sometimes they don't make the best eyeshadows. They're just not always like as pigmented as these bad boys. This was like a lovely little eyeshadow palette and a nice little discovery. I also loved the Essence eyeshadow palettes that were based around cities. I just didn't include them in this video because they're like discontinued right now, but they were really good quality. They lasted so long on the eyes, and I created so many beautiful looks with them. I just wish that they were a permanent fixture in the Essence counters. Unfortunately, sometimes they do that, like things come out and then they go and you're raging. Mascaras are kind of like the only other kind of eye product that I was really loving this year, and I discovered two, both from Catrice. So the first one is the Glam & Dawn Catrice mascara. Love this. Wearing it on my eyes today. Obviously you can't see because I'm wearing like hella big lashes, but in general this is like one of the best mascaras for lifting my lashes and giving me full looking lashes. They look sensational when I use this. Absolutely loved this mascara. Again, super affordable from Catrice. And the other one was the Iconista Lash Millionizer waterproof mascara. Very unusual wand in it. This is completely used up. It's a small little wand, but it just got right down to the lash root, and I was able to like lift my lashes. I've completely used this up, so I need to like repurchase it, but I just have so many mascaras on the go at the moment. That's the only reason I haven't repurchased it. But it's an amazing mascara. I was using it for like so many months there. I know you're only supposed to use mascara for like 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, I was definitely using it for well over 3 months because I just loved it so much. If you do see this at a Catrice counter, pick it up because it's a great product, and I really liked this for my short stumpy lashes, just to give them a bit of lip. So I didn't have that many favorite lip products from affordable brands. I just didn't really like vibe with that many, and there wasn't that many that like stood out to me and I needed to like wear them all the time. But there was 2 lip liners in particular that I was loving. The first one here is from Revlon, and I believe this is just called Nude. I'm sorry, the whole name has like rubbed off it, but this was a gorgeous lip pencil and I use this so often. It's quite dark, so it doesn't look like it would be something that I was into, but I just picked it up on a whim. I think I was in like Boots or something and I just saw it, and I was like, oh, I want to try that out because I'm obsessed with lip liners, and it looked so nice on, and I wear it quite a lot. Actually, I'm nearly all out of it. It's so I need to repurchase. The second lip liner is from NYX, and this is Nude Suede Shoes. This is my second purchase of this year, and I searched high and low for this because every single NYX counter I went to in Dublin just did not seem to have it. I was like, where is this gone to? I eventually got it in Debenhams in the NYX counter in town on Henry Street. It's very subtle, it's very neutral, and it's quite nude, but it's just a lovely natural lip liner. So if I'm not wearing like full beat ass makeup, I like to just apply this to give me like a subtle lip line, and then I can just apply whatever lipstick into the inside, or I can just apply a lip gloss and it just gives my lips like a natural plump without being too overlined. Whereas the Revlon one is just a little bit darker, that it will look a little bit more plump. My lips will look a bit more fuller and like a bit more colour in them. The Revlon one lasts all day, and the NYX one is okay. Longevity is not great, but as you can see, like when I rub the back of my hand, I've just completely rubbed the NYX one off, whereas the Revlon one is still there. Like it's almost waterproof. Like I think it is waterproof. It's very hard to get off. Revlon's lip liners come in loads of different shades, but if you really want a long lasting lip liner, I definitely recommend checking out their lip liners. They're incredible. And then I just want to talk about two more lip products. The first one is the Catrice Demi Matte lipsticks. I loved all of these this year. To be honest, I think they were like one of the best discoveries. I was sent out the entire collection from Catrice, so I'm really appreciative of it. Obviously the nude is like my favorite one, but this one is like a gorgeous like mauvey pink. This is number 100 and this one is number 030. So those two lipsticks, loving them. Those Catrice lipsticks are great, longevity amazing on them as well. And then the only lip gloss that I was loving from an affordable brand was the Velvet Lip Creams from Penneys. Again, not going to harp on too much about it. Love this. I'm gonna just apply it now. I just love this lip gloss. I feel like I've worn this lip gloss to death. It's just in the shade Nude. I really like this, and I feel like it's like a lovely consistency. It's not too gloopy or too glossy on the lips, or too, it's just a really subtle nice lip gloss, and I really enjoy it. Well guys, that kind of completes my 2019 favorite. I'm so out of breath and I feel like I need like about a gallon of water right now because my throat is ridiculously dry. I'm sorry if I was talking at rapid speed. I was just trying not to like talk about particular products for too long, because you get they're my favorites and I don't need to like kind of go in and go and do the ins and outs of every reason as to why I like products. I just really like them, I enjoyed them, I use them, and therefore I'm featuring them. I would love to hear your drugstore favorites of 2019. I might try them in 2020. What were you loving? Is there anything that stands out in your mind, has been like, oh my god, that was the best discovery of 2019, whether it be mascara, lip gloss, foundation, concealer, whatever it may be? Let me know. I would love to hear about it, and I hope you guys have the best 2020 ever. I feel like 2019 was like one of my favorite years in a long time. Just the best things happened to me in 2019. It was just an exceptionally good year, and I'm just hoping 2020 is going to be even better. And if 2019 wasn't great for you guys, brand new year, we're going to kickstart this with a bang. We're going to have a great one. I'm going to see you in my next video, which will be my high-end favorites of 2019. So I'll talk to you then. Mwah. Bye guys.